Okay, we ready now?
Perfect.
All right, roll call first. John Hotchkiss here,
Joe Bailey here.
and John Caleri has submitted his resignation, so at the moment we have two. First item is a public hearing regarding, I believe it's actually called Lakeland's Association Beach Property. Okay, is that the correct name of it?
Oh, I
Lakeland's?
don't know, maybe. I was pretty sure. You could be right.
Yeah, well, with Christine, she hadn't given
Yeah,
her birthday, so maybe
sure.
she can tell us,
She will be.
Not yet.
you can tell us the name of what your association is down.
Christine, would you like a more comfortable chair?
Oh.
Like the best ones here?
Give me one of this.
That was very
There's
nice.
another one right here.
Yeah,
We got enough to go around.
do a shift.
Yep.
Maybe Roger can have one, and
They just don't want you to know.
Yeah.
there you go.
Now you get the show by you.
Oh,
Yeah, how's that? That better?
All right. Raise your hand if you've delivered a baby.
Never.
You? Nobody?
What?
Deliver
Delivered?
the baby.
I can. You can go into labor. You'd be all set. We got this.
There she
Delivered,
is.
because I have delivered 2 children, but I
No,
was on the
haven't
receiving
caused.
end of it.
I delivered two. So you're good. One of them was my own,
I'm done,
and,
sir.
and one started in the ambulance and finished in the ambulance. All right, so what's going on with the beach property? I know, unless you have some great words to say, we've got a couple of people, right? No? Two? All right.
Do you wanna?
You
Because
wanna
you can give us
explain
the
why we're
actual
here?
name of the association. What you're.
So it's Sunrise Lake Lands Association.
okay.
I'm gonna write that
Could you
down.
give a brief history of how we got here and where we're going to from here?
So we are now officially registered with the deeds and registry. We are now officially a legit association once again.
You have the board of
The
directors.
past is that in 1986 apparently, someone dropped the ball.
Doesn't
No
matter.
idea who, no
Doesn't
idea.
matter.
It's history, it was brought to our attention, and
We acted on it immediately.
Christina has taken a lot of her time and energy to bring us up to speed so that we can be here tonight.
So
There are
you,
3 associations around the lake, okay? 2 on the backside, 1 on the front side. The one they're talking about is the big one on the backside, okay? I believe 3 beaches,
3
Yes.
beaches we own, yeah.
okay?
Yes.
One
That-
is running, but 3 is owned. yeah.
Was supposed to be part of the association. Supposed to be run by the association. They collect dues to keep up the beach. And every so often, each association has to file with the state of New Hampshire saying, here we are, we're an association. That stopped being done somewhere in the 1980s, and during that time, the land has regrettably, officially belonged to the town. The town has 1 beach on this side. I assure you, the town does not want the 3 beaches that used to be in your association. We would like nothing better than for your association to take them back. I think that's why we're here, to, is it 2 hearings we have to do?
Yes.
To notify the public. Public doesn't even know that the town owns it, but now you do, and then it's going back to you folks. So you've done the work, and
From the work, this is the that is not the official paperwork, that comes 10 to 14 days after. But the number on the, there's a number on the top that if you go to the website, type it in, we're there. And it shows that we are there and legit. It happened 15 minutes after I signed the check.
yeah,
Is it a book and page number, or
yes, it is. Yeah,
what kind it is?
well, I can read it unless you, it said BK and then PGs, it must be book
Yeah.
page.
Yes. Book of page.
Here we go, 4565 dash 0960. Okay, this is as of May 4th. Okay.
Friday.
So, I would like to thank you ladies for fixing the mistake. It doesn't matter how it got here. What matters is you're doing something about fixing it, all right? And Laura, I guess after one more public hearing, this
Yep.
is done?
Yep, you have to have it, I believe it's 10 days, but no more than 14 days apart.
Okay, so the next board select meeting, we can have another one.
You can, well, no, because that's more than 14 days, because that's in June. So you have to
Oh,
hold
June.
one somewhere in the middle. Just
At least
pick a
10?
day, at least 10,
So
but
it
no
can't
more
be
than
next
14.
Monday.
Okay, so we won't be meeting until, again, after the 1st of June.
So you have to somewhere throw in a public hearing.
Okay. Well, this,
I mean, I don't think anybody's gonna,
And as long as one of us show up, that's okay, because I don't know what, you know.
I don't even think you have to be here to be technical, because I think they only signed it over.
California, Arizona.
I think probably right after Memorial Day weekend, whatever, we have to come in and have a half-hour meeting and just open the public and be done, close it out.
but
But that's more than 14
that's more than
days,
14. At least 10, but no more than 14.
Wow.
So what's
So-
today, the 7th, so the
So
17th.
You have basically until the 21st.
Right.
Well, then I can tell you what, we only need 2 people here.
All right?
We can make the arrangements on the Monday day of the budget committee meeting on that day. We can
Right.
have a public
Just do
meeting
it
an
during the
hour
day.
ahead of that, from 5:30 till 6:30, then we have the budget committee meeting.
Yeah, except it's gonna be at least 7. I guess it would be. Monday to Monday is
Yeah.
8 days.
Yeah.
So that'll be,
Well-
so,
No,
Right.
because you gotta post it 7 days ahead and you can't count the day of the posting.
But the 18th would be 10 days, so he's going after, he's going 3 days after. So if I
Right,
had
that'd be
posted
fine.
it tomorrow, we'd be fine.
Right.
Okay, yeah.
okay.
So the
Right.
21st at
21st
5:30?
at 5:30.
All right?
That will give everybody a
Okay.
chance to get here, we'll close out, do it for the hour, close out, and we'll go in the budget committee meeting.
And I'll write the deed and have that ready and
Yeah.
we'll just do it that night.
Okay, that'll work. This is a public hearing open as we speak now for the Sunrise Lakelands Association for the next hour?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Any comments from anyone about why we're doing this or where we're headed with all this?
Once I get the official paperwork from the registry, does the town need the copy of that?
We'll get it.
You will get one?
We'll get it sent electronically.
Okay.
We probably already have it, to be honest.
Oh.
Yeah. Because once it's recorded and you have that sticker, they
Yeah.
upload it and then they email it, so she'll pull out everything that has Middleton in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's what I gotta do.
Technology.
Why- John, why do you have to have 2 public hearings?
That's
I'm
what
gonna
she said.
yield to Laura.
Yeah, you have to hold 2 public hearings at least 10 but no more than 14 days apart on the proposed acquisition or sale provided however, upon written petition, and if you don't wanna do it, but yeah.
And that's coming from our attorneys, correct?
Yeah, because I didn't know what to do with this piece of.
Alright, we'll do a legal beagle. That way we don't have no more problems going forward.
The town will still have our beach. Anything after me?
Yes, yeah.
Thank you. John's beach. Okay.
We got like 15 Johns in town,
That's
so
right.
y'all share.
Besides, he spells it wrong.
I tell you what, look at all the Johns in town,
All right,
and they go down and do the cleanup.
There you go.
thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
All right, so we're gonna continue with our meeting rather than sitting here staring at each other for an hour. Okay, but I hope this meeting goes, well, at least we have to be here for the hour. Okay, so we're good to go. And Christine, if you need to go.
I'll let you
the
know.
door's that way. All right.
I think my car's closer that way though.
Go ahead.
Okay. I'll hold the door for you. Okay, signature items. John Clary was the 3rd selectman. He was elected in March of 2017 for a 3-year term. He did a very good job serving the first year, but then his chance for employment took him to Las Vegas. Originally, we thought it was going to be a 3-month job, so we did our best to do without him and operate with 2 selectmen. In a recent conversation with John, it now appears that that job is way beyond 3 months. closer to 6 or 9 months. And he has another part-time job working for MGM out there, helping to plan their events. So he regrettably offered his letter of resignation. To that end, with Laura's help, we posted it on the website or some places. If you're interested in running for selectman, let us know. There was no committee. The state law is very clear. It's up to the selectmen to appoint someone until the next regular town meeting. So even though there's 2 years left on John's term, we're only filling it for the 10 months until March of next year. Then someone would run for a 1-year term. And after that 1-year term, which is the last of 3, what was John's spot, then it would go back to 3 years, okay? Joe and I conducted interviews with, I think it was 8 people, qualified people. I'm very impressed with the willingness of people to serve, okay? Some are sitting right here, and I thank you all for offering your service to the town. We've chosen John Mullen, who is also our state representative, and he's not here tonight because he's over in Concord taking care of bills for the state of New Hampshire. He'll be back on Wednesday, at which point he'll be sworn in. We'll take care of signing checks, so that you have to have a 2-signature check system here. So I'm gonna be out of town, but Joe will be here and we'll get everything taken care of, okay? So, John Mullen served as selectman when?
With me.
When was that?
2018 something? No,
No.
19 something. No, is that
No,
2000, wasn't it? 2003?
2008, 9, somewhere around.
He served 2 terms, didn't he, Roger?
Served 1 term.
Yeah,
he
did
served
one?
Okay.
Yeah, somewhere around 2009, somewhere in there.
Okay, so, we're all set on that? Next item, please, minutes from the last meeting. I've had a chance to read these already.
John, when did we do the drainage up in our area? What year was that?
I think that was 14.
That's when he was on the board.
Could have been earlier. Yeah. All right,
I make a motion that we accept the minutes from the meeting of 4/23/18 as written.
I will second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Good. Okay. Construction notification. What is this for?
This is for the, Nelson that's doing the construction work at the pit. They just want these, they both originals, they want them both signed by you guys, or by one of you. It's from this.
The town has been setting aside money for the past few years with the intention of building a new highway garage down on Ridge Road. Years ago, the school board gave, or sold, I think it's probably gave, 5 acres to the town. That's where we store some of our piles of gravel and rocks and so forth. Because we've been setting aside money towards the construction of a new building, we had enough to last summer have the property logged, a whole lot there, but we cleared all 5 acres. And then we're now having it de-stumped in preparation for putting in more of the site requirements. There's gonna be retention ponds and so forth. No buildings yet, but good news. I said 5 acres, top right corner, 100 feet by 100 feet, which is what, a quarter of an acre? What's going on there, Roger?
That's where the new tower's going.
Okay.
The tower. For anybody who don't know where we are putting up, we have been approved to put a tower up in town up there. AT&T is putting the tower up. It should, hopefully it should be done by by fall. It looks like it's moving on pretty good. Joanne and myself or Joanne Kosky and myself are the ones who are working on it. I don't know if I met you guys with the petitions or Joanne met you with the petition, but if you, anybody who signed the petition who's sitting here or ain't sitting here, understand that was a big help in this thing. So that's going down that corner up down there, and I might as well, I spilled the beans the last couple of them. And there's a good possibility that T-Mobile's gonna put up a tower in town too. So we might have two. So that money that was allocated for the rental of that lot down there was one time put on a warrant article saying that money, any money that was made on that would pay for our infrastructure. So it would not come out of the pockets of the taxpayer. So, I think that's why you threw it at me. So, that's what's happening right now. There'll be updates, and so, but pretty soon you'll be able to get on your phone and
Actually,
you
work.
it'll work.
The intent was to get a tower up and have multiple companies rent space from the tower. Renting space on the tower provides rental income to the town of Middleton. We use those funds to offset the cost of a new highway garage, instead of simply saying, taxpayers, here's another bill you can pay. We're trying to avoid at least some of that pain. All right? Okay, intent to cut. What are we gonna cut?
I believe one of these is done already, but if it's on Kings Highway.
Question. We get the tenant cut now, are they already cutting?
What, I,
What is, I can't read there. Mohammed and Hosni? That's out?
yeah, that one's pretty much done. That's the one that's on Kings Highway
What are they
that we
doing?
had the issue with the
Mine's
dirt.
like that.
Yeah. So he's almost done. The other one, I don't know who that is.
So, I gotta ask a question, why aren't we getting the intent to cut after the fact?
Because they're not waiting for the approval.
Okay.
Because they also did it without their driveway permit being approved either. So,
And Rick's aware of that?
Oh, yeah.
That's the one up on Kings Highway.
Mhm.
So, just as a,
What are the ramifications?
well, that's the whole thing, that's what I'm trying to get to, is there are no ramifications, I don't think of anything going on like this.
Right.
So, I think somewhere in zoning or the planning board, we need to come up with some kind of an ordinance that, unless you have all the approved documents, you
Right.
don't start, you do, you're gonna get a fine.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just gonna Middleton, do what the hell you want, I don't like that, you know, I don't like it.
Can't make them put the trees back after they've cut them.
Well, I know,
And they know it too.
well, that's the whole problem, is you mean just start doing, oh, sorry, I'm going in here, I'm almost done. No, that's not how it's gonna work, I think we need to work on something, so, we
We've
have no
had,
choice now, but.
we've had a fair amount of rain recently. Trucks pulling out of the logging site onto Kings Highway has resulted in a fair amount of wet, dirt, muck on the road. Motorcycle almost went off the road going through that stuff. Okay, you expect a dry road, and then you hit this mud on a motorcycle, which is pretty dangerous.
So basically, this is map 15, lot 11, sub unit 4, and sub Kings Highway, it's a 35 acre lot, and we're cutting down 33 acres. So,
Now, if we were on law and order, they'd be arrested for depraved indifference.
I mean, we've
Serious stuff.
heard about this numerous times over the years and stuff like that, we've never done nothing about it, so tell me to do something about
There
it.
is a state law that says they have to clean up their mess.
I know John has been up to ask him to do this out, and they cleaned it, but he shut them down for a little bit because it's not taking care of it.
Yep.
And don't come back until you do. So, basically, no, I mean, we had no choice to sign it, they've cut the wood, so. Second one is map 5, lot 4 and 6. off of Fox Road. It's 15.9 acreage and 2 acres to be cut.
He hasn't got it.
Okay, well, anticipated date is May 1st this year, okay?
And he ain't doing anything until, the road is unpaved.
So, have they already got a skidder down there?
He's got the, issue.
Yeah, the road's
Yeah, he-
posted.
Yeah, but he got his butt
We
chewed.
can't take the truck down, we'll just take the skidder off 153 and drive it down the road. It's still overweight.
But he got his butt chewed anyway, you know.
Well, it doesn't matter, you know? I think $1,000 fine would probably have the attention a bit better. Make it hurt. Seriously,
Yeah, I think.
start working on getting that done. How you doing your job, but just do it the right way.
Okay,
I'm sorry, I went off.
Well,
Little tangent.
I have some suggestions for other issues. I've got my laptop here tonight with pictures of that debris, trash, whatever you wanna call it, stacked on the side of the road on Kings Highway down there. I brought the pictures to show you. That and highway littering. I went down New Portsmouth Road about a week and a half ago, from the top to the bottom, just to our driveway. I picked up 5 bags, 5 Hannaford market basket, whatever you call it, grocery bags full of cans and trash.
and that's a road that goes nowhere. There's no through traffic on that road,
It's a dead end road.
and still you're getting it. What do you do? Go down there, throw out the trash, and turn around and come back.
Well, I'd like to know who drinks Twisted Tea down on that road, because most of the cans that I picked up, about
Yeah.
15 of the 20 or so cans were Twisted Tea. So if I find a fresh one down there, I'm gonna try and see if I can lift fingerprints on it.
DNA.
I live down there, I don't wanna live in a landfill. People don't want a landfill in their backyard, I don't want one in my front yard.
I clean up my yard on the dirt side, on New Durham, and take all the tires and stuff out and come back, and every time you turn around, there's more tires in there. So,
All right, move on.
Yeah.
New Durham zoning board meeting.
Yep, we were squeezed into May, so it's tomorrow night, 7 PM, and you said you were going.
yeah, I also got a meeting with I got a 5 o'clock meeting with somebody down on Gary Road about a boiler install, then I got the fire department meeting, and then we get that one over there, so this was more important, so I'll have to skip the fire department. I'll get it for them afterwards. I'll lay back, Darrell. So,
As selectman, I represent the selectmen on the zoning board, and we have a public hearing here tomorrow night about someone who wants to erect a fence around the property, which requires a variance, so. We'll be busy. Everybody knows that we, the town of Milton, owns a gravel pit within the boundaries of the town of New Durham. We bought the land, and we, if you will, get our own sand and gravel. You see a nice pile of what's been sifted out there, okay? And we save considerable money versus some other towns. I spent some time volunteering at the Farm Museum in Milton, and I watched Milton's trucks all day long, going from their highway garage up to Ossipee Aggregates, where they buy the sand and then haul it back down. So we're lucky to have this.
it's pretty expensive.
Good
Big
thing on,
expensive.
Rick Washburn's part.
Dirt. It's not dirt cheap, huh?
No.
Dirt is not dirt cheap.
Dirt is not dirt cheap.
Okay, Janet, you wanna talk about the village
Yeah.
district dam?
Well, you're aware, we had to have some engineering done with regards to the possible breaching of the dam and hydraulics and hydrologics. And I was just wondering if there was any way that the town would like to contribute to that, since it would be a benefit to the town as well. We discussed that before. The cost to us was $11,800. I don't even expect half of it, but if we could get, a couple of thousand from the town to put back into taxes for the people up there.
I think I'd like to defer until John gets on board, and also take a look in our budget to see if there was a heading already that would work for this.
You know how that budget committee is.
Uh,
Yeah. Well, we all benefit as a town from that lake, whether we
Right.
realize it or not.
Right.
Part of the study for this dam is to take a look downstream to see who would be affected if that dam ever breached. There are a few houses that would be affected. Everybody assumes that the water would go rushing down North Main Hill in Farmington. It doesn't. It crosses Silver Street, crosses Old Bay Road, and eventually comes down by the back of the Catholic Church in Farmington. And it goes under the South Main Street Bridge that they just rehabbed. Okay? In fact, if you ever wonder why the dikes down there at the South Main Street Bridge are so high, it's to allow for a bit more water coming through. As emergency management director, former, if the dam ever breached, I really was just gonna place one phone call. Hello, Farmington, you've got about 20 minutes before you have a big wall of water coming your way.
30 seconds, move.
How long can you tread water?
Yeah, really.
But thanks to the village district, the dam has been rehabbed, the sides have been extended, and it's good for another 20 or 30 years. So it's,
What exactly is that the entire project, or the entire stress point of the engineering study?
Yeah.
Is just ramifications of a breach?
at one point, there was concern that where the cement part of the dam ends, then you have the land.
John's one of the commissioners, so.
There was concern that if the water level came up high enough, it wouldn't go over the dam, it would go around.
Right.
Joe and I went out there testing elevation to make sure that it was all right. Because you don't want it going around the dam, because it would erode the dam.
You gotta talk to Jerry too, because we just got another letter of deficiency for that elevation that you guys went out and checked.
Right.
They want documentation, so now we've gotta either have the engineers come in and do it,
Right.
or have a surveyor come in.
We thought of having a survey, but couldn't find one that would actually come do it. So,
But Turner may do it,
Yeah.
they're doing all the other engineering, they may do that for us.
anybody go on Route 153, the front side of the lake? There are people in the state of New Hampshire who consider that to be a dike,
Yeah.
keeping the water from flowing to the other side of the road, and there's a river back there, a stream.
Yeah.
Is that Dick Dane?
Oh,
Brook?
maybe.
Okay? And with that discussion comes, who's in charge of
Who owns
maintaining it? Okay?
Yeah.
Looks like a state road to me.
Yeah.
Okay?
They've been trying to hook the village district with it, and we don't own it.
All right, so,
State
goes
Route
on.
153,
all right.
That's right.
plowed and maintained by the state of New Hampshire, so
Don't
I think it's
I know
their
it?
deal.
All right.
Yeah.
Jim loves it.
No, I live on 153, so a town plow does not jump on my road.
All right, a week or two ago, we're done with that one, a week or two ago, we opened bids for the renovation of the town hall kitchen. We had a low of 11,500 and a high of $43,000. After looking at all the bids, we have decided to go with Doug Gregory with a low bid of 11.5. His was so much lower than everybody else's that I called him in today to ask him, are you sure this is right?
Yeah.
Okay, and he said that he would take another look to make sure, and I said, well, one thing you have to add in is not just the 3/4 Advantech for the floor, the 3/4 plywood for the floor, but the actual Georgia pine flooring that's gonna go on top. We'll get it from Middleton Building. He said, yes, he'd put it in, but that would increase the budget slightly, but not all the way up to the next bid, which was 23,000.
So his quote didn't initially include laying the flooring.
Right, but I
But to
asked
be
him.
honest with you, the rest of them did not.
Well, no, but I'm just.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they put down the subfloor, but they didn't put down the finished floor,
Right.
so. Big difference.
Is that the one that you guys chose?
Who?
I thought we went with one, I thought that when you took the road here, it was one of the other ones that you were gonna go with.
So what was his final cost?
Well, I'm waiting for the final, right now
You'll
it's
see the
still
next one.
11.5, I'm guessing.
Carport, we had two bids
For
out.
four and
One for the
two
police
thousand.
carport down here, and one for over there. Bids from both people.
Right, I
Okay.
know that.
So basically, the Old Town Hall bid, when we looked at it, we went Doug Gregory,
Okay.
okay? So, the police car renovation, John can tell you,
What
Okay.
about the electrical in the town hall?
we're going to, go ahead,
Good.
the chairman. It's hard to.
The electrical portion is a bit more confusing in that you need electricity based on where we end up putting the cabinets, where we put the wall. So I recommend that we take neither one of the estimates and go back and talk with someone about, anybody that wants to talk to us, about an hourly rate. Because it's not clear to me how anybody can say exactly what needs to be done until we get the walls exposed, get the floor out to see what's there for wiring, and then we can start putting it back together. I believe an hourly rate would work to our advantage.
I mean, it's going to be up to us how, what we want wired for outlets and where, what makes sense and stuff like that. We're not sure until we tear it apart. So how could somebody, well, they bid $15,000, yeah, well, just to cover it all? I think if we, John's right, I think we ought to get to that point once we get everything torn apart, rebid, okay? And I think we'll probably get a rebid, either bid or hourly, one or the other.
When are you doing demolition?
Ah, thank you. 30-yard dumpster is coming tomorrow.
Ooh.
And I was ready to go out there tomorrow and start throwing the pile that's outside into the dumpster, but now Joe has told me that John Mullen, who's heading up the renovations, wants to look at some of the stuff that's outside for possible use, resale, I don't know. So I guess I won't throw anything into the dumpster.
I have to wait till John gets back and say, yes, keep it, no, let it go.
Those of you that like things like demolition, we'll be getting started on this soon. Demolition is to take out the countertops, the cabinets, the wall until we get back to the original wall. That's all the masonite that's on the wall, take that out. You go back far enough and you come to shiplap boards, which were the original boards, and that was the schoolhouse. We'd like to leave those and start building forward from there with sheetrock. One major headache is gonna be that stove. I think it's gonna weigh 1,000 pounds. The floor will be taken up by the contractor. I do not want volunteers pulling that floor. It bounces when you're on it now. I'm worried that people start saying, oh, I'll take this piece out, and pretty soon everybody's down in the crawl space because the floor is giving way. So I'm looking for volunteers, but just to move the easy stuff. The highway department has graciously offered to bring their two-wheel excavator over to the 30-yard dumpster, take that bucket and just crush everything, all those cabinets, crush them down to make more room. I think we have it for 30 days, which should be enough for Doug Gregory to at least get the floor taken out, all right? Good luck with us moving that stove. And
We'll get it figured out.
I'd like to find somebody that's moved something that big and maybe some dollars or something, but
So usually you put them on, like when they moved,
Cradles.
used to move the, like old kitchen, you know, any
Right.
old cast stoves, like my father, we
Right.
had one kitchen cook stove, my father put them on dollies,
Right.
like they're all like, and they're just metal, and they have like 3 wheels, and you stick them on each leg,
all right.
and you just moved it around that way. Yeah, I'm just thinking.
My concern is where do you put it?
I thought you were gonna put it in the old town, in the big area.
Where the bathrooms or, right,
Or
good.
in the old,
Right.
big, old town hall, because that floor isn't done yet, or it is done?
Last I heard, it's not done.
Right, because they were waiting to do it for the kitchen, right?
Yeah, but that might be done sooner than later.
Oh, right.
Probably be easier to get it through, once we get all the cabinets out, get it through that door.
Right, my bathrooms, right.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, it is.
A considerable concern is over the floor, hold us moving that. You got 3 or 4 guys pushing the thing. You've got a 1,000-pound stove. I don't want all of us going through that floor.
Right.
And I tell you, the spongy part of the floor is right by those double doors.
Oh.
I mean, John was there, he stood right in one spot, and I went over and I just,
Well,
But
right,
like
so
that, the whole
couldn't
big guy
you-
going
couldn't
like
you put
this,
some,
so.
like, couldn't you put some like 2 by
Plywood.
8s or something
Put some
underneath
plywood down
it,
and to distribute
then
the weight
just-
and stuff like
and
that a
then
little
put a
bit,
piece of
so.
big plywood, get up on there and.
We'll figure it out.
Push, say.
We'll get it.
Right.
I would welcome any input from anybody that's done any of that stuff.
I can
including-
do that. I'll
Okay,
try it one.
okay. I don't know whether.
So
Jim
we'll let
has
her
done it.
push it, because she's there.
Does that thing have legs under it?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, you know, they got those furniture mover pads, I don't know how much weight they hold, but if you can get them under, you might be able to just push it.
For those of you that don't know, this is a cast iron stove that's every bit as big as this table.
Yep.
You would
10
have-
burners on top, 2 ovens, and it's all cast iron propane. It is mammoth. I'll bet it's 50 years old and still works.
Couple of things. One is stripping as much off the stove as you can to lighten it.
Mm-hmm.
And what about the car jack dollies that,
No, the way you do, one way of doing it is you take some 1x6s, wheel, you jack it up, put this underneath of it, do on the other side, and those wheels should move in like that, you should be able to do anything you want with it, pretty much. Obviously, all the burners have to come off.
Yeah.
All that, the back of it, that big back billboard, they don't want that on there for going forward, so we take that off to lighten it up, so. You know, you know, you can lighten it to a point, but I probably could get probably 200 or 300 pounds off of weight off that, just.
I think the biggest concern is making sure it doesn't go through the floor, if the floor is that
That's
spongy.
right.
Mhm. So,
And making sure it doesn't go through the floor with me next to it. Is that for being a little selfish? Right?
geez, I thought you were gonna sacrifice yourself.
you wouldn't go down to make sure that it didn't hit too heavy or hard?
Right, thank you. All right, so stay tuned if you like to demolish things, we could use the help.
So is John.
Almost a year ago now, we got an estimate for renovating the carport in the area right outside of the police department. Got a bid, it was accepted, it was Mark Susi's bid. But then, at our request, we waited until the next budget was passed. And now, the budget's passed, we have the money, but Mark is indicated some of the prices have changed. So I asked him to let us know how it's changed. But, you know, bids are good for 30 days, 90 days, usually not a year, okay? Middleton Cemetery, you wanna update us on the cemetery?
We tentatively have a spot. I am working with a soil, I called her today, soil specialist or whatever they are. She's gonna come in and tell us if that soil in there is good enough to put the cemetery in there. If it is, then we're gonna go have test pits dug and see how deep the water is, because we don't want any bodies floating away. Yeah. I guess we could put some big sinkers on them.
Cinder blocks on top of it.
Yeah, put them and hold them in the bottom, like, yeah. But, so that's what's going on right now. She can call me back today, so I'll call her in the morning.
All right.
But I'll get with her and we'll go from there. It's happening, guys. I ain't letting this thing slide. That's another thing.
This is a town-owned piece of land, 5.5 acres,
Yeah.
down New Durham Road, just past Eastman Lane. It goes off to the left, and there's a
Probably
house.
about a half mile down the road.
Yeah.
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 If you wanna know where it is, just so you go past Eastman, you have that little yellow house.
Yep.
Then you see that big monstrous rock, right
Right.
there.
Right there.
That's the spot.
Anybody ever been to New Orleans? Because we could follow their lead.
Yeah, we could bury them on top of
Right,
it.
New Orleans is basically below sea level.
Yeah,
They bury their people above ground.
I think you get in here for 5 years or something like that, then you
Yeah.
clean the bones out,
That's
put
right,
somebody
next
else in.
family member goes in.
If you couldn't find appropriate space,
Huh?
if you couldn't find appropriate space, could you do something above ground?
I'd be surprised if they allow it
You want-
around here.
You want above ground?
Why not?
We're gonna do the ashes above ground if you want to,
Yeah.
but,
But it has to be below ground. Like, is there any rules saying like you can't do like a mausoleum type?
I think you could do a
no, there's
mausoleum.
nothing. I mean, Florida does that down there, buries them all above ground and, but,
You got the money, you can have what you want.
yeah.
Right, this is
But-
true.
Well, if you do it that way, you look at now, what is it gonna, well, of course, we got 5 acres, we're only talking about probably an acre and
Right,
a
to
half
start with.
to de-rock and
Sure.
de-stump, so that's cheaper than putting mausoleums in there.
Yes, it is.
And put, so, yeah.
As this progresses, I hope we get public input from things like, do we have a mausoleum? Do we have headstones? Or is it just plaques that are level, so you can mow right over them? Okay? I don't know.
It'll depend on the cemetery bylaws, they'll,
Yeah, it's basically up to the cemetery committee on that part, but, we will take feedback from people, we're not gonna say, this is it. No, I want some ideas, so, but I don't want you out there putting like, the 14th chapel out there, you know what I mean? For your dead, cause we only got so many spots. John figured it out, how many spots and how many years we?
Oh, I thought it would take,
There's 800 spots.
that's right, 800 spots, and it would take, I don't know, how many people die per year? 20? That's a lot.
That seems like a lot, yeah.
That would take us, what, 40 years to get up to 800?
Yeah.
So,
For the 5 acres.
there's room for all of us.
Right.
So you figure it out. But those are
Except
things
your baby.
we'll sit down, once we've got it, and we'll clear out that whatever, we'll decide. And everybody, I ain't gonna be a dictator. I would like to, but,
Another item I'd like to add, again, public input. Tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the morning, the Conservation Committee is meeting. Besides talking about things like recreational use of properties, Tanglewood is a possibility. I'd like to talk about recycling. Okay? We have, is it Roger LaChapelle?
Peter.
Peter
Pete
LaChapelle
LaChapelle.
is coming to talk to us about the current state of recycling in this country. We stopped recycling because of the cost, excuse me, but many people would like to see it reinstated. So I'd like to talk to him about the choices, the cost, and I don't think we get anything done before March of next meeting, when the townspeople would have to vote one way or another on, do you want recycling? If it costs money, are you willing to do that?
I have
Okay?
a question
Yes.
about that. So last time we had to provide our own containers and whatnot.
Yes.
Is there any way that if we're gonna lock in with them to recycle it, I mean, like in many other towns, they provide the barrels, is there any,
Yes and no. Rochester has beautiful barrels, color coded by the top. One is regular and one is recycling. You know how they get all those?
And the waste management's in Rochester.
Right, because Waste Management Turnkey is in the city of Rochester, so they get it all for free. Other big towns, I don't know whether Dover has it or not, but I remember when we first started this, we thought the cost of providing barrels was prohibitive. People using their own barrels, I thought, was rather limited success.
I don't, yeah.
Well, I think at one of the meetings that we had over the fall or winter, the waste management guy also brought up the fact that there's no other incentive for people in the town to recycle. Whether you throw it in the regular trash, you throw it in a bin, because there is no rule saying you have to use, you know, the green trash bag that you've gotta buy or the
Right.
bin.
Yeah.
So I think that needs to be
I'd like to talk about that tomorrow.
if you're limited in the trash barrel size of just having, you know, one
Mhm.
trash barrel like Rochester, you're gonna think twice about how much you're putting in there.
Right. One system is called pay-as-you-go. You have to buy specific trash bags for Middleton. You want 3 bags of trash out there, you have to buy 3 trash bags. And that price starts to mount up if you do that every week. So there's an incentive to take some of that trash and start recycling it, because that's free. All right, so we'll see. We've got a year to talk about it.
Yeah, and
Yes.
also take into consideration that if a lot of us are providing our own containers, the amount of animals that get into our trash,
Mhm.
and tear pot bags and whatnot.
Yes. Yep.
But again, you also wanna figure out at one time, when I was selecting, it cost each house in the town $128 a year just to put it all in and get rid of it. If it's gonna cost you as a taxpayer $50 or $60 a year to buy those green plastic bags with Middleton on it, is it worth doing that or paying whatever we pay now? Maybe we pay $200 a year per individual house. So that's something you wanna take a look at too. Instead of, I know everybody's hot and heavy on this thing, but personally, I don't wanna buy trash bags.
I don't either, I'm not gonna lie. And because again, they rip my trash apart every week, so.
Yeah.
Well, the
Right.
bags could be put in a container, but that's another issue. One of the problems I have with not using the bags, the buy your own bags, is my taxes are paying for basically a portion of the trash for the entire town. Now, that means that when I drive down the road and I see somebody with 15 or 20 bags of trash, and I'm putting out 1 bag a month, I'm paying a portion of 15 bags
Yeah,
when
you
I'm
are.
only putting out 1
Sure.
bag. Now, is that fair to me?
So pay-as-you-go would help to alleviate that.
It would take care of mine. I'd have such a small bill, I wouldn't have to worry about
So
it.
the overall
Maybe
thing of
those
that
people
whole, the
wouldn't-
whole thing
Or
is
even
too
if
is,
everybody bought their own bin, you know, I know Rochester gets them for free, but if those big bins or barrels, whatever they cost, if they're like $30 a barrel,
But
you
they're a
figure
lot more
that's
than that.
but even if you do, it's a one-time cost, provided that you don't have people stealing them like people in Rochester do.
so the whole goal is, as far as the tax base goes, right now we pay approximately $148,000 a year on a 5-year contract. So that's over $600,000, probably close to $650 for a 5-year contract with Waste Management to take our garbage as it is, okay? So the recycling thing didn't work before because the cost was high. Why was the cost was high? We thought we could start it for $16,000. In the first 6 months, it was over $40,000. That's why people voted it down, to get rid of it. Why did that happen, okay? Some people, it was a new program, some of the educational piece maybe was a little deficient, but we put mailers in everybody's stuff. We sent them out specifically. All the information was on the website. Phone calls that came in to Laura's office was off the charts. People wanted to know what's what. So if they didn't know they called, they would get informed that way, all right? The biggest thing was the participation rate. We needed 85% of the taxpayers in town to jump in on this program and do it, to make it, bring down that $16,000. I think we hit maybe 12%. So basically, the program failed itself because people didn't buy into the program. So, regardless whether they knew about it, didn't know about it, it's not from the lack of the town trying or Waste Management trying to give everybody the information. And I have to admit, the first thing that came out that they had some wrong information. It wasn't wrong information, it was information that you had to call and find out what did that mean. That was the thing. It was generating phone calls.
But I also, I think I remember Laura saying, correct me if I'm wrong, but somebody would call up and say, Do I have to recycle? No. Oh, good, bang.
Mhm.
If I don't have to, why am I gonna bother sorting my stuff out?
But if you're told you don't have to recycle, but you have one barrel to work with,
Yeah.
and then you're stuck with, you know, the rest of your trash, you're gonna think twice. Or, you know, you have to pay.
Looking for the neighbor's barrel, see if they. I'm just saying.
But really, I mean, I drive through our neighborhood on trash day, and it's,
I can't believe
Drive
Wait a minute.
Right.
We can just take it to Deer Run, just drop
Right.
it off at the end.
Yes, oh my God,
So-
oh, you, what's trash day tomorrow, right by Deer Run, 153.
Everybody know what Deer Run is?
53
Down
tomorrow morning, and that
153?
thing will be,
There's gotta be 40
oh,
or
at
more
least
bags
40 bags there.
for like 10 homes.
are they doing anything? Is it those people that live there, or is it just everyone dumping?
It's
Well-
people dumping. They literally open it and send me pictures of people's like mail.
The last time it happened like that, I picked up, they actually had the photograph of someone from Farmington address on, inside the bag.
Can you go after those people?
What do you do? I mean, you can do it, but maybe have them charged with littering or something like that, I guess. I don't know.
Have the police anybody come?
But it's gonna, but now that the roads are being unposted and stuff like that, then now they'll go back to in front of their houses. But
Yeah,
during the,
that's a private road.
yeah,
And when the road is in poor condition, whether it's springtime when it's wet, wintertime when it's icy, Waste Management will not bring their truck down that road. And I don't blame them,
So
I've
this
been on
was
it.
it, we need
Close
a
your road,
littering
do you,
fine.
Calvin? You
No.
don't change it, close your
No,
road.
so we did have trouble when you did that recycling.
Right,
I said mine was a month, Tony. The guy wouldn't come.
yeah,
The other guy would come, pick up the regular trash, but the
Yeah.
other guy, I don't know, I called him up,
Yeah,
you
no,
know what I mean, so,
uh,
I mean, we said it ourselves.
Aggravating.
This
I
should
mean,
be
you pay a lot of money for your, we pay a lot of money.
We should be
We
just
shouldn't
says
have the
tomorrow morning.
aggravation going on.
Is there, so the price that we pay for the 5 years, is there an so if people start going really crazy like they did with the bulk day last year, and Waste Management started seeing the amount of trash going up, could they increase that price?
yes.
In the next contract, they could.
But we're
Okay.
locked in for the
For 5 years,
Okay.
okay? So, but, and basically, just to revert, because you brought it up, last year the bulk pickup, the reason we came up with the stickers, we had a bunch of dumping going on in town, okay? And they had, what was it, 70 tons more than the previous year, last year. Okay, we got houses that have a 2-bedroom,
Their houses haven't even lived in.
but elderly people like that, and they got 7 mattresses outside, come on, really? That's
And
the friends and family plan going
They
on,
took
bring it
pictures
up.
on.
Well, they could have charged us for those because
And
our
that's it.
contract only says one truck twice a year, like that.
Right.
When they
So
were
when we
sending
had the
4
bulk
trucks.
pickup, we had the bulk pickup come last year, they had all this extra stuff. And in the contract, they could have charged us in excess of an additional, above beyond the contract, another $40,000, and they didn't, they ate it.
do we know what the last week's tonnage was?
Not yet.
No, not yet.
They
but-
didn't even pick up my one item.
So last year we
Did you have
came
a
up with the
sticker?
bulk
I did.
stickers.
And then, yeah,
Did you call them?
I didn't call them, but we waited for the next day thinking, well, maybe it's, you know, they're behind. And then my sticker, mysteriously fell off, so we just dragged it back in and we'll save it for another.
I know last year, when we done the bulk sticker program, again, we had to have something, because we didn't want to pay the extra 40 grand this year, okay? It did drop back down,
To what it should.
so, actually, it's even better than the year before.
There shouldn't have been nothing for
So-
the fall bulk, with all
Right,
the,
So anyhow, I mean, there's some, look, the program's not perfect, we know that, it's something we had to start to do, okay? And unfortunately, I mean, we tried to give everybody free stickers. I mean, do the best we can to, alleviate it, if you need extra ones, we changed the price from $10 to $5 to make it easier for everybody. And then, other than a different program, and this is a work in progress, we don't have all the answers to everything, okay? This is just one thing to get things started, so we don't get hit with a big bill that we don't want because other people taking advantage of our town, so.
A word of caution about recycling. Through my association with the Union Church, which is part of Wakefield, I can bring their trash to Wakefield. They have a transfer station. Out and back a ways, they have a pile that's almost as big as this building of chipped up plastic, bottles, chipped up. There's no market for it. It's just sitting there and growing. Within the last couple of weeks, I heard of a company, I believe in New Hampshire, that used to take recycled glass. They've closed. So now there's no place, you collect the recycled glass, you break it up. Now what do you do with it? Nobody wants it. So I want to talk with Pete LaChapelle tomorrow to see what the current mood is about recycling. Okay? Metal is still good. We have no problem disposing of metal. We have our summer pickup and that goes very well. In fact, anybody that put metal out before bulk pickup never made it to bulk pickup. Trucks going around every day, sometimes twice a day, picking it up. That's good.
The house down in Nicola, remember where the fire was?
Right, yeah, that stuff's
Did
up.
you see the stuff out there over the weekend? Went by there this afternoon, it's
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah. Well, there's money to be made.
Yep.
All right.
Well, if we're talking about stuff like that, can I show you some pictures?
I have to tell you, I'm in the heating business, so from fall to spring, I'll do a job, I come home and I just toss the stuff in the snowbank, scrap copper, brass, whatever. I don't deal with it. Springtime, this past weekend, Tammy just said, well, we gotta go to the scrap supermarket and start working on that, she goes. So she's out there with her gloves on with us also, cutting off the good copper, the mix and stuff like that, took it back, $163.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not bad.
leave it out there long enough, somebody will just take it.
What can we do about this stuff?
Do we have, is there somebody who lives there?
I thought John was supposed to go down and take it.
Yeah, so do I.
There's one of them, that's the mailbox.
Is this on that property or is it on the side of the road?
Right on the side of the road.
Okay, so
At
are
the end
there,
of the- at
so
the end of
then,
a driveway.
okay, so in the town right away.
Right.
Okay. At that point, if unless it's in the town right away, I think they can be fined for littering.
To your knowledge, has John Mamone done anything
I don't know
about it?
if anybody's done anything about
Is
it.
that-
The same people last
We've been
time.
asking
I
about
have
it, it's been a year.
I have to ask the question, does that come under code enforcement? I come under littering to the police department? That's,
Well-
that,
Can
that's good,
everybody
I'll
see
find
it?
out. I will find out tomorrow
Okay.
morning before I go to my job and stuff like that, because I can answer anytime I want to. And I'll go down and see the chief and say, listen,
What is
there are a
that?
couple of those subjects we need to talk about. So,
What's that?
That's up on Kings Highway.
Yeah.
Some of that's been out there since our last bulk, right? But that's not new, no, that's been out there like a year.
It's been a year.
The
okay.
baby stuff has, I know that. 'Cause I think Malone went out there last time.
And down in Kings, this is new stuff. This is further on down Kings Highway. There's some TV and some other things put out.
Probably for bulk pickup, and they don't take it for bulk
Right.
pickup.
Oh,
I'd like to, you know, like I said, I don't wanna live in a landfill, and I don't like having people come into our town driving through our highways and
Right.
saying, boy, this is a really crappy town, look at the mess.
I agree with you.
So you'll take it for action.
Oh, absolutely.
All right.
Tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock, bang on the door, let me in, we got a draw.
All right. Any other old business? Okay,
Little bit, scholarship.
okay,
May 15th is the deadline for the Recreation Committee to receive applications.
okay.
The applications have to be approved and sent on to Kingswood by May 25th, and that only gives us 10 days to review the applications. To date, the only requirements for a senior to receive a scholarship from the town of Middleton's Recreation Department is residence in Middleton, a copy of their transcript, a letter from them as to why they want and or need funds, and a letter of recommendation from a teacher, counselor, a clergyman, a doctor, some professional person. The scholarship funds can be used for books, for education, tuition, for licensing if they have a job they need a license for uniforms if they need uniforms for a job. We just we want to help out a senior, and to date, not one application has been received.
Question. Do they know about it up in Kingswood?
It's been posted to all 12 high
Okay.
school seniors, but if anyone knows someone, tell them. It's, you know, it's not a big deal to write a letter and say, hey, I'd like some money.
Okay.
What plans does the rec department have for payment?
What do you mean payment?
I
Are you talking
applied for a
about?
scholarship.
Yeah.
I win.
Okay, on May 25th, I notify Kingswood, and I think it's June 7th, I'm not sure the exact date, but, oh yeah. Let's see,
I don't
presenting
need
awards on
date,
June 2nd,
right,
there'll
but
be a ceremony.
who gets the money?
We mean, how is the recipient chosen?
No,
No, how, when do they
once
get
they're
them?
chosen and they're attending UNH, where does the money
The-
go?
On the June 4th, they're given their award, as in a check made out to them, or, Kingswood takes care of dealing with
We
the,
just make sure they have the funds to
right.
give to them. So the rec committee would write a check to send out.
And they do, you know, it's all covered in their taxes, that's why they have to put in their social security number and.
As one who spent a lot of years in education and given out a lot of scholarships, do not give it to the person, give it to the school.
Well, like I
Because-
said, this is a work in
Right, but
progress.
this is,
The recreation
some
committee
advice.
hasn't done this before.
I'm going to UNH, here's my bill, you give me the money, and I guess I won't go to UNH.
Usually
can't afford
there's
it.
like certificates, and I think, like you said, they take it to the school, like when they start,
Right?
and then they'll just bill us, like the
Right.
books or the
Yes.
$400 or whatever.
A word of caution, it shouldn't go directly to the person, it should go to wherever they have the bills. Good?
Have you talked to the?
We haven't had a rec committee meeting for a while, and we're due to have one, but what's in the fund now, do we know?
The last count I had was $140 some dollars.
I didn't bring that information.
No, I just not curious, this is a rough
I made a
estimate.
deposit, I do know,
Nice.
whatever it was, yeah.
Thank you for doing that work, because someone is gonna benefit from it.
Once again, if we don't get a recipient this year,
If it carries over.
then it'll carry over.
I'll make you a deal here in public and stuff like that, that by the time you do this, it'll be 250 even. I'll make sure it is, okay? So,
Sonny DePrizio has agreed to add something substantial at the very last moment,
okay.
But once again.
so it may
we're
be a
up
little
to-
bit more.
Yeah.
That was cool.
We're up to May 15th
Right.
for.
You can't make them apply if they don't want to do it, you can't make them, but at least we'll have it, once it carries over, I mean, you know, don't worry. I think it'll work.
My son will be a senior next year. I'll fill out the paperwork now.
The impetus for a student applying comes from the guidance counselor.
Hey,
The
I'm a
guys-
senior, can I?
There you go,
apply?
close
The
enough.
guidance counselor, I was gonna say they questioned it on
The
one of
guidance
It's
counselors
true, I'm
have
65.
our criteria, and they posted it to all 12 seniors through the guidance department.
I stand first in line, I'm more of a senior than you are, Roger.
Yes. All right, anything else for old business? New business? Old Key, Old Town Hall rentals. Anybody?
Oh, that's me.
Okay.
I'm getting requests already for rentals from like the annual reunions, like the big families. Are we renting? Am I scheduling out? What should I be
Until the
telling
kitchen's
them?
done, will we?
Not till the kitchen.
Yeah. I'd be, when is the old home?
August. Usually it's the week of,
Third Thursday?
yeah, third week of August.
We could block off that kitchen all we want.
The third
And
week.
I'd be concerned that if it's in the middle of construction, the floor is half missing, I'd be concerned about people being in there. And if the floor is there, but the cabinets are gone, I'd be concerned about people walking on the floor. So I think I'd prefer to wait until we get this thing up and running.
So when they're asking for September, I'm just basically saying no.
Oh, September should
Cause
be
they're
right.
looking, but I don't wanna do that, and then it's not, and then they have no place to hold their reunion.
Just tell them that the potential, we're working for, to have it done by the 1st of September, but there's no guarantees other than that. So, it's have to be, you have to play it by ear and see, and keep checking in, but where we're at for
Then
staff.
you guys better talk to Mr. Mullen because
It's
he's
a
determined it's
Yeah.
gonna be ready for
Not a
old
lot,
school.
so much.
Well, if it is, it is, if not, it's not. So, we've gone a couple of years like that, when no one's complained about it, and they didn't like it, but, you know, when it's done, it'll be done right, and it'll be safe, and it'll be fine
Absolutely.
at that point, so.
Alright, everybody knows the roads are no longer posted,
Oh, they got posted.
All of them?
okay? All of them are off. We're off and running, okay? And saw Rick Washburn today, and they've taken the signs down, so we're back to normal, okay? Some people have a hard time understanding why we post it all, but the side of the road, if it's still wet, you put a big truck on it, it breaks up the side, so we're all good to go now.
Didn't 153 just get paved here about 2 years ago? A little bit of it paved, I don't know, your place, whatever.
No,
I don't know, 153 is like a washboard right now, it's like a lot of, that's
They-
crazy.
they-
Your house
They
down.
put that like reed, they
Yeah,
put that
Hey, you know what,
crap
the worst,
down.
the worst paved roads in Middleton, I just came back from Burlington, Vermont. Our worst paved roads are better than theirs.
yeah.
I will tell you, after working over in Brattleboro and going out and venturing around the countryside, they have some of the best dirt roads you'll ever find.
Oh, yeah.
I'm telling you what, smooth as glass. Matter of fact, I almost on the road because it was so slick. But, no, they do a good job on the dirt roads up there, that's for sure.
Alright, what else? Anybody, new topics? Anything going on, anything I've missed?
2 more minutes for the meeting and 1 hour.
No, we're good, it's
Wait a minute.
28, we've had our hour.
Still quarter.
I,
Yeah, it's still 2:43. Go ahead, Jeff.
I hate getting things dumped in my lap. I have a problem that somebody is using my name, bringing information to a board that is not accurate to begin with. I was asked to let this go, and I did until today. I happened to call the New Hampshire Municipal Association with a question, to find out that they can't give any information to even me as an election official unless it comes from a selectman. At one of our last budget committee meetings, comment was made, that a phone call was made to the municipal association concerning some information that was put out during election day. And my name was the one that was used.
As the one who was calling?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
and it wasn't me. I have a feeling I know who it was, I'm not gonna throw names around. But I hope I never find out who it was. And I will bring that, Roxanne, to the next budget meeting as well. Because I don't like it when somebody uses my name as being the person that made the call. I didn't do it. And it's irritating. And
Well, I know I didn't
and
make
the
the
information that was brought to the board, they couldn't have gotten from the municipal association, because the municipal association would have only given that information to you.
Yeah,
So,
I don't know.
Joe knows what this is all about. It was the information that Laura had put out, the did you know paperwork. And the research that she did on it, for when we had, voting day. And we had checked, everything was checked out before she even did it, before she put it out. And everything she did was legitimate from start to finish. But somebody tried to get her in trouble. But when they did, and they called the municipal association, they said it was me calling. And it wasn't me.
Okay. Let me know if it continues.
I will.
Um, If you get more information, I'll be glad to listen, but right now
Yeah, I
it's
know.
pretty
I just want you guys to be
vague
aware.
as to,
Exactly, and it is vague.
yeah, should not be going on.
Quick,
Yes.
did you bring him up to date on the T-Mobile list?
No, more.
Laura's got it, but just to let you know that I called them today, they said they would like all the properties that we own, and Laura's gonna shut down.
One way that,
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, just the property, because they've got maps and stuff like
Okay,
that.
I'm sorry.
T-Mobile is a company that might be interested in building another cell tower in town. It is not to the town's advantage to just go out and buy a piece of property and say, here, T-Mobile, you can put it on here. The first step is to see if we have any town-owned property already. That's what I think Laura's gonna provide to people, it's public knowledge, so.
So I do have a question about that. Conservation land? Are we allowed to do anything with conservation land?
I don't think so.
How about town forest?
Town forest is owned and managed by the town, isn't it? No, the conservation committee takes care of that as well.
Right.
So that's not on the list either. I just need to know what to weed out,
No.
because it's quite long.
No, I wouldn't do anything with like that. I'd take a piece of property, like a half an acre, anything's a half an acre.
What?
Okay, and it has access.
And she knows, I asked her and she knows who's the subject.
Laura, you might, when you check the first house on the right on Silver Street, you know.
There's a good lot right there in the front. It's gotta be 100 by 100, right? In your front yard?
Absolutely.
You'll have good service.
I can make some money. Yahoo!
Go ahead.
That last heavy rain that we had
Yes,
did a number on New Portsmouth Road.
okay,
And we've got a lot of orange cones strung down along the side of the road.
good. So that would tell me Rick Washburn knows about it.
Yeah, it's gonna be an expensive solution,
Yeah.
because it actually undermined a lot of the pavement.
Oh,
I guess-
happy
I don't know if you
days.
guys know about it already, but
Yeah, I heard about it from Rick Wash.
Tom,
Good.
are there any plans in the works at all? I haven't talked to Rick, so I wouldn't know. But are there any plans to ever paving Lincoln Road?
To my knowledge, none. Nor Estates, nor Birch, Beech Tree, nor Holiday, nor.
I'd be more
River
concerned
Road.
with Lincoln, because even with all the work we done over there, they're still having major problems.
Yeah. I was surprised to see Farmington paved the crossroad down at the end of Silver
Oh,
Street.
The dirt section?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
paved.
it's all
All been
paved.
across that, their section is all
That
been
whole
paved.
road is paved now.
Wow,
Uh,
interesting.
we
But they
own-
did, but they haven't paved the section that's on Silver Street?
No, that's not,
No, they
they're
paved.
Oh,
all
they
done.
did? I
It was done last
yeah,
year, last fall.
I haven't been down there.
That's,
last fall.
I'm on the backside of
it's on
town.
the backside, right.
It's the backside of town.
I need to get your car line every month then now.
Contrary to popular belief, Middleton does not own the entire New Durham Road. We don't own like this much of it.
Right.
The whole other chunk belongs to New Durham. It's confusing because if you start on the New Durham side and you turn on to what they call the Middleton Road,
Line
Middleton
Hill
Road, the whole thing belongs
Line
to
Hill Road?
Middleton.
Is that what you're talking about?
Which
Line
one?
Line Hill Road?
No, it's the one behind my house goes.
The
you
dirt
know,
road.
So the dirt
It's
road.
Line Hill.
Well, it used to be, back in the day it was Line Hill Road, so I
Yeah.
don't know, but that's the road you're talking about.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
It's also called the,
Middleton Turnpike.
yeah,
Is it what?
New Durham Turnpike.
Oh,
right.
okay.
Yeah.
So, all right, anything else for the good of us?
We are at 1 minute to 7:44 right now, so you can probably pretty much call your public hearing at this point if you need to. We started at 6:40.
Okay, you're still here, so.
I made it.
All right, all right. And you're gonna contact,
PD?
no, but for the second hearing?
Oh, yes. Yeah,
You
we'll
know
take
who
care
to
of that.
contact?
Yeah.
Okay.
All set.
Her name is Kristen as well, isn't it?
Both of us are
All right,
Christians.
believe that. Two offices, one's Kristen and the other one's Kristen.
Kind of like John, and
That's
Joe.
right, yeah.
Yeah, really, you know, what's up with that?
I'm just saying,
It's a good thing you're here. If you were the one leaving, we'd have
John.
John, right?
Billy Johns.
Not to be confused with John Malone.
Right.
Love John.
Correct.
So, all right. Nothing else going on? Entertain a motion for adjournment.
Do we need to come out of the public hearing first?
Yes, so.
I'll make a motion
Yes.
that we come out of the public meeting at
Public
7:45.
Public
Public
hearing.
hearing, yeah.
You said public meeting, public hearing.
Public hearing.
Difference, Joe.
Same thing,
I'll second
No,
it.
it's not.
okay.
All right.
For the record sheet, for the record, it's all set. So, all right, now I'll make a
All in
motion, I'm sorry.
favor? We all in favor?
Aye.
Aye,
Yeah,
good.
I'm sorry. Janet threw me off my game here. I'm gonna blame you.
Can I tell you?
I'll make a motion that we adjourn at 7:46.
I'll second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you for coming. Watch those black flies out there.
Saturday.
Go ahead.
Yeah.